All right. Here we have Work Together 2-1. Before you get going on it, let's look at our instructions, please. So if I could have eyes up here just to go over directions, and then I'm going to walk you through and I'm going to ask you a series of questions. And how I ask the questions are important. It's the same way that the book introduces the materials. So that is important. I know that you can do it another way, but it's really going to help you down the road when we add more layers to it to remember to ask yourself those questions in this order. So our directions for Work Together 2-1 read, we're going to write the answers to the following problems, and I get to guide you through it. I'm so lucky. We have the following accounts: cash, accounts receivable, Christy Kelly, supplies, prepaid insurance, accounts payable, Miller Supply, accounts payable, Wayne Office Supply, and Jeff Dixon Capital. Okay. So for those accounts, this is what we need to do. We have to prepare a T account. Guess what? They already made it a T account for us. Check. Done. Number 2, label the debit and credit sides. Remember, it doesn't matter which T account it is. The left is always, and the right is always, doesn't matter. Got it? Okay. So we got that. We can nail number 2. But don't start. Zip that. Eyes up here. Number 3. This is the part that gets a little more complicated. Not super, just a little. Tweak it. We have to label each side of the T account using the following information. We have to label the normal balance, increase, and decrease. So basically, what I was writing on the board before using my blue dry erase marker, we have to do for each account that they give us. I'm going to go through and do it with us. Please stay with me. You can listen to what I'm saying and work on your computer, but don't go ahead because I want you to hear those questions. And how I question is going to help you to make sure you can do that on your own. We rocking? Okay. So I don't really need the directions anymore. I know what I need to do. So I'm going to start with my first account up here, cash. The very first thing that we have to do for all of our accounts is we have to label our debits and credit sides. So, bam, cash. Left-hand side is debit, right-hand side is credit. Doesn't matter which account it is. Marissa, is it not available for you? You were spacing off on me. I was just making sure like something wasn't broken. Okay? Now, the first thing we do is label debits and credits. The next thing that we do, don't move on to the other accounts. We're going to do a account at a time. That's okay. I'm pausing you. It's all right. The next thing that I asked us to do is determine the normal balance. And that's where we have to think about these questions, okay? So, the first thing I have to do is we're doing the account cash. Enunciate. First question I have to ask you is you need to ask yourself in your head is going to be, what is the classification? 3 options: asset, liability, or owner's equity. Abby, what is the classification of cash? Asset, liability, or owner's equity? It is an asset. The next question I have for you, Abby, what side of the accounting equation is cash on? The left or the right? What side? Correct. It is on this side, which is the left side. Okay? The left side is called what? Debit. So what is the normal balance of cash then? Debit. So I'm going to write directly below debit, normal balance. Now, I am going to leave this line empty under the word credit. We know that the normal balance is always called the increase side. Okay? So wherever I write normal balance, directly below normal balance, I'm going to write increase. The opposite is going to be decrease. That's how we do it. Now, please notice, I have a blank line there. Is that okay? Yes. We don't have to have anything opposite on the line that says normal balance. Let's please do accounts payable Miller Supply next. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label debits and credits because the left-hand side is called debit. The right-hand side is always called credit. All right, I'm going to pick on somebody else. Abby did really well the last time. Hannah, you think you can handle it with me? You ready? Okay, Hannah. Accounts payable, Miller Supply. What is the classification? It is a liability. What side of the accounting equation is it on, left or right? The right side. The right side is called what? Credit. So the credit is going to be our normal balance. So I'm going to write that there. I'm really trying to be really goofy when I do it so you remember. Doing that on purpose, okay? The normal balance is always called the increase side. The opposite is called the decrease. All right, good job, Hannah. You nailed it. Philip, you ready for the next one? You got this? Okay, my next account is accounts receivable, Christine Kelly. By default, we know the left-hand side is debit and the right-hand side is credit. Does not matter what account it is. But what does matter for this account, Philip, is going to be accounts receivable, Christine Kelly, is what type of an account? It is an asset. What side of the accounting equation is it on? Left or right? Left. The left-hand side is called what, Philip? Debit. So that is going to be our normal balance. Normal balance is always the, thank you, somebody was listening, increase side. You don't want me to sing, I'm not very good, but I can be animated when I teach. The increase side is always our normal balance. The decrease side is the opposite. Okay? Now, I've asked the questions in the same way on every one because it's that important. I'm going to keep doing it for all of them up here. We don't have a big class, so you never know when you're going to get picked. My next account we're going to do is accounts payable, Wayne office supply. We know no matter what account it is, left is debit, right is credit. So I don't really even care what the account title is. I just know left debit, right credit, left debit, right credit, left debit, right credit. I really think that in my sleep. Left debit, right credit. Okay, accounts payable, Wayne office supply. Dylan, you ready? You on with me? Ready to roll? Ready to roll? First question I have to ask for you, Dylan, is what is the classification of accounts payable, Wayne office supply? It is a liability. What side of the accounting equation on? Left or right? It is the right, and the right side is called excellent. So you just told me right side is called credit, so therefore that is its normal balance. So therefore, the normal balance is always the increase side. The opposite is the decrease side. 3 more to go. Supplies is our next one. It doesn't really matter because left is debit, right is credit. Sierra, you can whisper to me. Don't need to say it out loud. I'm going to look at you to make sure you answer because she lost her voice, but we're happy she's here. Supplies is what type of classification? It is an asset. Didn't everyone hear her say that? Okay. Assets are on what side of the accounting equation? Left or right? It is the left, and the left-hand side is called what, Sierra? Debit. I had a hard time reading your lips on that one. It is the debit side. So therefore, supplies is going to have a normal balance on the debit side. It is really important that how I ask those questions is going to prepare your mind to think about the next level that we need to do. Eventually, I don't ask the question, I just ask you what the normal balance is. And you ask yourself that in your head. Sid, you ready for the next one? All right. Jeff Dixon Capital, doesn't really matter. Left is debit, right is credit. Jeff Dixon Capital, Sid, is what type of an account? Give me the classification, please. It is owner's equity. Owner's equity is on the left or on the right? It is on the right. Therefore, the normal balance is what, Sid? Correct. Woohoo! Normal balance is always the increase. I can't spell increase. Opposite is the decrease. Notice, I don't care what side it is. When I do normal balance, I immediately go below and I put in increase. You want to do that. Aptly, it forces you to move left to right. I say, I don't care. Normal balance, increase. Those two go together in my head, like peanut butter and jelly. Normal balance, increase. They're friends. They always stay together. They never get mad. They're always together. One more to do together is that's prepaid insurance. Prepaid insurance, Lucas, is what type of an account? What do we think? I'm going to disagree with you on that one. Remember, the fact that it's prepaid, that means we own it. Because if I cancel it after a month, I can get money back. So prepaid insurance, we are going to classify it as an asset, which means we own the policy, and we can do what we'd like with the policy. The left-hand side of a T account is always called debit. The right-hand side is always called credit. So, Lucas, since we've already determined, you and I, that prepaid insurance is an asset, what side of the account equation is on, left or right? It is the left, so what is the normal balance? You are correct, Mundo. Normal balance, below the normal balance is always going to say increase. Opposite is decrease. Moment of truth, drum roll. Did I get them all right? Yippee! Green checks. Yay for me. Go ahead and try on your own. I get that you could have completed it a lot faster if I had not asked you those questions, but asking you those questions gets your mind to think correctly. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.